Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gwen and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be doing a chit chat get ready with me. So I asked you guys on Instagram what you wanted the topic of this video to be, and it was a split decision between adulting and relationships. So I will be doing both of those videos, but I decided to start with adulting. And before we get started, I just want to let you know that I'm not telling you what to do. Like, this isn't a tutorial about how to be an adult. It's just lessons that I've learned so far, and I just wanted to pass them on to you, so to show you my experience and hopefully you can learn something from it. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. All right, let's get started. Okay, so before I start, I'm just gonna kind of establish the context, basically just show you guys what point of view I'm looking from, because I feel like that will just give you an idea of kind of the things that I look at when it comes to adulting and just the things that I have going on in my life, maybe to introduce myself to some of you if you're new here. So my name is Gwen. Hi, how you doing? So I'm 23 years old. I just recently graduated college. I guess you can say recently. Yeah, it's almost been 2 years since I graduated undergrad, and I graduated in 2016. So it's been 2 years. I am currently in medical school, but I was forced to take a year off because I didn't get in right away. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm single. I don't have any kids, and I live on my own. I don't live with my parents. I just wanted to give you guys that to start the discussion off with so you can see where I'm coming from. So I think of adulting as starting right when you leave college. That's kind of when you leave the structure of school and you're taking on the world on your own terms. Basically, like, yeah, I am back in school, but I'm out on my own. I don't have my parents living with me and helping me, dictate my everyday life. So I just think of adulting as going out in the real world, I guess you can say. And when I did, enter this new world, I was really, really nervous, as I feel like anybody would. But I feel like it's just like with anything, it always works out. And with transitioning to adulthood, a big question is always like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What's your next step? You feel the pressure because you're like, wow, people are watching. First of all, don't live your life for anybody else. Like, worry about what you have to do. I know for my situation, I thought I was going to go to medical school. I thought I was going to, like, right out of college, I thought that I was going to be, moving on to medical school right away. And it was a huge setback for me, a humbling experience to not be going straight to medical school and working for 1 year. I mean, at least I had a job, but still not having what I wanted to happen. It was a very humbling experience. And of course, there are people who are kind of like, oh, so what's Gwen doing? Like, she's not in medical school. Like, what's she doing? And, it was a huge, like, upset for me, of course. But at the end of the day, I am happy that it did work out like that. For one reason is because I was able to save up money before medical school. I still do have loans, but I was able to save up spending money so that I don't have to worry about relying on my loans too much. So that was really helpful for me. But going back to living your life for yourself, I think it's a big issue when people are coming up to you and they're saying, oh, what are you doing next? Like, what's next for you? And not everyone's going to know what the answer to that question is. Long story short, if you don't have it all figured out, like, it's okay. There are adults out there who still don't really know what they want to do completely. Now, that's not to say that they're not doing something with their life, like they're still, working or whatever, but they might not know what their true passion is in life, their purpose is in life, however you like to look at it. So don't be too hard on yourself and thinking that you need to have it all figured out. There was a quote that I've heard before, and it's like, the worst way you could spend your 20s is by thinking you should have it all figured out. And I think that's a really good quote to live by, because no one's going to have the answers right away. I think the best way to figure out what you want to do in life is to know what you're passionate about. I feel like in today's day and age, it's very, very possible to be able to do exactly what you want to do and have it align with what you like to do, like hobby-wise, and things that you're passionate about. You're able to do that for your job. Not everybody gets to do that. There are some times where you kind of have to put some things aside for your circumstances, I guess you can say. Like, for example, I'll use examples. I like art. So, like, if I look back in the day, what was I really into what did I love to do? It was art. And growing up, my mom had to kind of bring me to reality, like low-key saying, like, Gwen, you might not be completely successful with that job. And back then, I really resented that because, you know, you're a kid and you're like, my parents are supposed to be, you know, supportive of what I want to do. Like, why is she telling me I can't live my life? Like, what does she know? You know? And when it comes down to it, you do need something that's going to pay the bills. Now, there are people out here who are doing what they love and making money from it, and that's awesome. But sometimes you gotta have to put things into perspective. Like right now, I do have loans. Yeah, loans are crazy. They're like they make me really upset that I have them, but sometimes you do need them. If you can go on in life without having to go to school for something and get loans for something, I say do that, just because all those bills that you're gonna have to pay back that you can't file bankruptcy for, that, you know, you're forced to pay. If you don't pay it, your children after you are going to have to take on the loans. Like, it might not be completely worth it. So I think it's good to weigh your options. I know for me, I wasn't really involved with my school process, just as far as like, oh, how much are the loans, or understanding the whole process of what I'm going to have to do now that I'm signing my name onto this. Looking back, I wish I was more involved with it. I was still involved, but not completely. I didn't really understand it. So it's good to become educated on it. Anyway, back to like what you want to do in life and versus what you have to do. I think a good way to figure out what you like to do in life is just think about what you're passionate about and what your values are. Okay, so like for example, with me, I learned that I like helping others. Like, I want to give back to my community. I like helping others. That's why I wanted to become a doctor. And so that passion is driving me to know what's next. For other people, some people are really, you know, just not really connected to what they do. They could do anything as long as they're making money, paying the bills. They'll do what they love outside of work. If that's you, do that. Like, boom, like you're done. You don't have to think about it anymore. But for me personally, I was in my previous job and I just wasn't happy. I just wasn't happy. And I knew deep down that I wanted to go to medical school. I was not happy in this new job. Like, just the day-to-day life, I just didn't like it. And I'm just like, I can't see myself doing this for a long time. I really just can't. Like, I don't want to. So yeah, that's pretty much what moved me to continue to work towards going to medical school, even though I did not get in the first time. And I feel like you just have to have a plan. So you could either go to grad school, you can start working, whatever. You just want to be prepared. I think a big way to be prepared is to start figuring out your next steps before you get to the end. Well, I found out I wasn't going to medical school, I would say around maybe April. When that happened, my mom was really helpful in helping me realize, like, okay, like, this knocks you down, but like, we got to keep trying. We have to keep going because you got these loans to pay back. Life goes on. And that's a big thing. I think, you know, using the people around you, if it's not your parents, like, you just want to surround yourself with people who are going to motivate you and who you want to be like. Like, you see how they just keep going no matter what happens. You kind of just have to do that. And so anyway, yeah, that's what I had to do. I basically had to keep going and just figure out what I wanted to do. And it's a good idea to, like I said, be prepared. But also, if you're stuck in a place where you don't like it, don't drop what you have until you get where you want to be. Like my mom would always say, you could be looking for a new job, but always keep that same job. And I think that's a really good idea because, like I said, back to the loans thing, you just want money coming in. Like, nothing in life is free. I think everyone knows that. So, and no one's going to care if you don't have the money. Like, if you don't have the money, you don't get it, you know? So, and being an adult, you just have to know that you have to be prepared to take care of your responsibilities. And I know I talk about loans and like after, but it's a good idea to start to get serious about them even when you're in college and have the loans, because for me, I didn't really, like I said, I wasn't really involved with the loan process and understanding what was really going on. So it's really good to educate yourself. I'm around my junior year. I don't know. My sister just told me, she was like, you do know that's not your money, right? Like, you do know that's someone else's money, you're using it, you're gonna have to pay it back, right? And her saying it, like, I knew that, but I didn't know that. Like, I'm book smart, but sometimes things just take a minute to like click in my head, and it totally clicked in my head, like, oh. I got so serious about it. I started my little envelope thingy thing. Yeah, I started just making sure that I wasn't spending all of my student loan money and saving some of it, not using all of it. I had to start looking at it like that, and that's why I made sure I had a job. I made sure I started to save. Savings is really, really important. You know, if you want to be an adult, you know, on your own, you kind of have to accept that responsibility that you're not always going to be able to just spend your money freely unless you save up for it, because you have other responsibilities. Like, make sure your bills are paid, and then you can go out to the movies and, you know, buy a new shirt and do all those other things. Just really putting things into perspective and realizing what is important, I think, is really a big part of becoming an adult. Right, so the next topic I want to move on to is revisiting the idea of the fact that adulting is about taking control of your life. So, like I said, when you're younger, you have your parent or guardian kind of helping you with what's next. Once you get your degree, or you just have that realization that, hey, I can like do this on my own, you get to control what you do. And I don't know about you, but that's very, very intimidating and very scary, especially if you don't really know what you want to do next. And that's okay. So how I've gone about taking control of my life is, it's super simple, but it's not easy. What I've discovered lately, or yeah, for myself, I've talked about a little bit on my channel, but not really. I got more into the topic recently, and that's minimalism. The more I learned about minimalism, it is not as much about getting rid of your stuff. It's more so about living a meaningful life. It's about living your life based on your values. So that's taking control of your life, getting rid of the unnecessary things, and focusing on what makes you happy in life, what you need in life. My values right now are my time, my relationships with others, my health, creativity, and personal growth. I've used those values to shape what I do in life, what are my next steps in life. And I feel like that can kind of help you figure out, what you want to do with your time. I think medical school was the first thing that helped me realize that I needed to pick and choose what I waste my time on or use my time to do. But I feel like as adults, we are able to use these values and help these to motivate us to do what we want in life and to be happier. So now I want to switch gears. I want to stop talking about that type of stuff. I want to talk about maturity. Yes. So that's a big part of adulting. I feel like that's a really clear definition. And I feel like that's just kind of everything that I've been talking about so far is maturity. You know, figuring out what you want to do in life and, you know, taking control and doing what you have to do. Not always what you want to do, what you have to do. And another thing about maturity is just your actions. So acting mature. And I think the main things that show maturity are being able to take criticism, be able to walk away from something that's toxic, and also dealing with like your differences with people. So first I'll talk about criticism. There's a difference between constructive criticism and just plain criticism. So long story short, with criticism, you kind of have to ignore it because it really tells you about the person more so than yourself. Criticism is a window into someone else's insecurities. For example, so if you're going somewhere in life and they want to criticize you, they're probably not going anywhere in life and they're probably insecure about that. The only way that someone is able to be appreciative of someone else's success and, you know, be able to fully support of that person is security. So, and maturity. Security and maturity. Sometimes there's nothing you can do to make someone happy. There's nothing you can do or say to make someone more comfortable with you. There's nothing that you can say to make someone like you. And I think when you come to terms with that, you will be so much happier in life because the pressure is off of you. I will link a video down below from Casey Neistat. He has a really, really, really good video about haters and criticism, and I have it saved as a favorite because I just love to listen to it. But yeah, dealing with criticism just comes with maturity and being like, I don't have to give you a reaction because at the end of the day, who are they? Nobody. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about being able to walk away from something that's toxic. Again, going back to your ultimate goal of being happy. If it's toxic, it's not making you happy, you don't have to stay. I'll talk about that more with relationships, but I think that's also a mature thing when you're able to put things into perspective and think, is this adding anything to my life? Okay, it's not. Like, I don't have to take this. Just taking control of your life and knowing that, like, I don't want to live my life this way. You're able to walk away from it. So I think that says a lot about maturity. But yeah, that's something that I definitely had to deal with being an adult. Being able to just kind of like pick and choose situations I want to stay in, not really caring about what others think I should be doing. And the last thing is about arguments, and I feel like this has to do with like criticism as well, because in a way, when someone's criticizing you, you're kind of getting an argument with the person, and fighting, like physical fighting, just little childish things. There comes a point where like you have stuff to lose and you can't do that. Yeah, you just have to put things into perspective and realize what is actually worth your time and energy. Yeah, when growing up, there's definitely been people who have tried to come at me crazy, but it was like when I was really young, so it wasn't like now at this age. But there just have definitely been people who were like super childish, and I'm not about that. I think even from like the rip, I wasn't even into all that childish stuff. And I just kind of had to let them live their life. Like, I can't tell them what to do. Just kind of ignoring them. Okay, so I'm done getting ready. But that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't want to do a normal just money management. Oh, you have to be an adult, get your money right. Although I did touch on that because it is such an important part of adulting. I wanted to give you guys a little something extra, something that was maybe a different perspective for you if you never thought about adulting that way. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and also be sure to hit the notification button so you could be notified when I post my other Chit Chat Get Ready with Me, which will be about relationships. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.